Hello, happy fiber artists. This is Cherie with rehashfiber. I have got another great pattern for you to use up some of your leftovers or extra yarn that is lying around. I have been on a clean out kick, if you call it. It just feels good. There have been things that I have had, whether it's fiber art or other things in my house, that just by being present are weighing me down. So I've been cleaning out, and in this case, I am finally gathering it, putting it as something useful, and then when I have that item, its potential for my use or to be given to somebody else to be used. And that makes me feel complete and good about it. And so that's what I've been working on. So as you see here, I have found all these natural color wools, and there is an alpaca in here I might use. A lot of them are just a little bit rough and would be itchy. So I thought I need to put them into something that's not next to body. If you watched a couple weeks ago, I did the no wool left behind rug multiple times using up various color coordinated yarn scraps. And I did not want to do the same rug again. It was time for something different. So I have found a gem for you. It is called the Linen Stitch Scrap Rug. And as you see here, here's the front, here's the instructions. Doesn't that feel great when it's that small? Really, you just got to do 2 rows. So frankly, after I've worked it up a couple rows, I've got it to where I just know where the yarn goes. I've got a good flow state going. I figured out a couple tips along the way, so I am going to show them to you, but it's super easy. Just grab all your yarn scraps and we'll get going and make this great rug. Hey, and if you're saying, what is that shirt Cherie's wearing? This is Edie by Isabel Kramer. And I love light little shirts for summer, or actually any time here in Florida, V-neck. This one's perfect. So if you're interested, that is on Ravelry. Look for the artist Isabel Kramer, and the pattern is Edie. There's some slip stitches in it, which make a nice little pattern. You can't see the pattern very well because I did hand dye this shirt, and I love splotches of color. But it's there, so it makes it a little bit different. Anyway, just in case you're interested. All right, let's get on to the minor but special details of this rug. This pattern is very simple. It is 2 rows that get repeated throughout. And I have worked it enough now, it's about a couple feet worth of this rug, that I have got into a great flow state for me and not having to follow the pattern, which is easy anyway. But with the stitches all looking different, especially down here where it was dark, I couldn't really find stitch definition at the top very easy. But the flow that I've gotten into is just knowing to crochet into these gap holes here. We are making this linen stitch where you're hooked in each hole and it varies each time, as you see here. So once you get the pattern and you read it and you get your understanding there, then if you check with what I'm doing as a flow, maybe it will assist. This is art. This is what is working for me. And I do want you to follow the pattern to start with and then get your flow of what works for you. But I'm just telling you this, for one, to show you the stitch. And second, if you're going along and you're like, then you have me to look at to see what I did. You still can figure out your own way. So at the beginning of every row, I chain 1 to give me my height to work with. And then instead of counting over, like one row will say count, start in the 2nd chain in, one will say start in the 1st chain in. I couldn't worry about that. I just went for the next hole in the fabric, as you see right here. Dive in, do a single crochet, chain 1. It says skip the next stitch and then do it again. Well, it's easy to see to skip because you have your linking one here. So you just skip this bundle that's linked and go into the next hole. And that's how you get that flow started, because then you are just looking for the hole every time. And believe me, when you're using a lot of colors and dark colors, it's hard to see stitches, easy to find the hole. So my hand's already finding the next hole. Go in, do a single crochet, chain 1, go for the next hole, single crochet, chain 1, next hole, single crochet, chain 1, and you do that all the way across. And then I'm going to show you what I do when I hit the ends. I'm coming to the end of the row, so you see I find the next hole to go into. I do my single crochet, chain 1. Now what you want to do is be sure that you get all the way to the edge. And I'm going to tell you why in 1 second. But get all the way to the edge, do another single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and add my chain 1, which is the beginning of the next row. Okay, so what I found, and I'd gotten up quite a few inches as I saw that my work was starting to go inward. I had not been making it all the way to the edge completely, and that's very frustrating. This is easy, it goes fast, but it's still a drag when you got to take out a bunch of inches so that your item is not going in like so. My other tip for not letting that happen, I'm going to flip this and I'm going to show you, is that in the pattern, row 1 says start in the second chain from the hook, and row 2 says start in the first chain from the hook. Well, that was messing me up. When I was starting from the second chain in the hook, it ended up pulling my work over and bringing it in. So what I decided to do, and it worked out, was I just find the first hole, which my fingers got used to just automatically finding it, doing my single crochet there, my chain, and then going on to the next hole all the way across. And that is what I found helped me not pull my sides in and keep things nice and even here. And sometimes it still does get a little pulled in, and I figure that's where the blocking is going to help take care of that, just because it's tight from the work. The linen stitch scrap rug is finished. I'm so happy. It used up most of my natural colored wool that was kind of rough. So I'm very happy. And it's funny because when you step on it, it doesn't feel rough at all. And it's a rug that will get used. It's fun because there's a ton of colors going through it, and I'm just thrilled. So I want to mention that the designer is Thadana, and you can find it on Ravelry. And I would highly suggest doing it. It was a lot of fun, went quick, and used up some yarn. I want to tell you about my shirt. I first saw the image on Instagram, and when I saw the cute sheep drop spindling while sitting on the state of Montana, I immediately fell in love. For those of you that know me, I love to drop spindle. I take it everywhere I go, and I feel like it's part of my adventure in life. It's so fun to do. And so this was dear to my heart. It's a sheep doing my favorite hobby. And I have great memories of Montana when I went there to Eureka and met the wonderful sheep named Steel, and I made a sweater out of that. So Montana is very dear to me, and so is the drop spindling. So I immediately latched on. I knew I wanted merch. So this is the logo for this year's Copper K Fiber Festival in Whitehall, Montana. I got a hold of Cammie, the organizer, and asked if I could buy the merch, and we set it up, and I got the t-shirt and the project bag, and I'm so excited. So I'm intrigued about the Fiber Festival, but I will not be able to go this year because it's going on right now, the date that this show will be airing. However, it is on the calendar for next year. The Fiber Festival is always the third weekend in July. Hopefully I get there next year. If you live in the area of Whitehall, Montana, why don't you go check it out? If you're there, message me, let me know, and send me pictures of your experience. I would love to see it. So we'll look forward to that adventure next year. Well, it sure felt great using up all my naturally colored scratchy wool and making it into something that I will love and use or can share. Now I feel like that all has value again, and it's been lifted off my shoulders. So everybody, happy crocheting the linen stitch rug, and thanks for watching.